and now for something completely different. So the thing is that we are on a cross-country Voyager, not for very long, as we're getting off at the our first station of Venture 68, which has come out after Venture 69. Nice, which you've already seen. So it's a bit of a mix-up with the ooh, miniature railway over there. Look at that. That looks nice. I'd like to visit there. But no, we are outside York for our first station, and we're going to be making our way to Newcastle. So it's East Coast Main Line Mania. So let's get on with it, shall we? In this picture is York, managed by LNER. It has 11 platforms with additional cross-country, Grand Central, Northern and Transpennine Express services. So the first station opened on Queen Street in 1839 outside the city walls. However, it was replaced by York Old Station in 1841. In 1866, Parliament authorised the construction of the current station, which opened in 1877, allowing trains to reach Newcastle from London, as well as Sheffield, Derby, Birmingham and the South West. At the time of its opening, York was the world's largest station, with 13 platforms. It was refurbished several times in its life, with the most recent being in 1988, as part of the re-signalling and electrification scheme by British Rail. It is North Yorkshire's busiest station, third busiest in the Yorkshire and Humber region, and sixth busiest in Northern England. I get my tongue twisted saying that again. The head code is YRK. So behind the trees at York Station is the National Railway Museum, where you can find all sorts of locomotives from steam, diesel, electric, and even from other countries. I have yet to go to the National Railway Museum. I will one day. Perfect timing. And we're on. Thought I was going to miss it then. So I got breakfast, bacon sandwich, $2.49 from the Potions Express. It's really nice as well. In this picture is Thirsk, managed by Transpennine Express, 2 platforms with additional Grand Central services. It opened in 1841 as Newcastle Junction. In 1933, Thirsk was the site where Britain's first route-setting power signal box using a switch panel was used rather than a lever frame. It also had 4 platforms. As you can see, the inner platforms have been taken out of service, and it's only the outside platforms which are still in use, which makes filming here a little bit more tricky. The head code is THI. As we are in North Yorkshire, it has started to rain. Only a few little taps. Do you mind, Ghost Lord, man? I am trying to do the thing here for my vlog. The nerve! You've seen that cloud there, Ghost Lord. I swear to Christ. Do you know how difficult it is to film at this station? So in this picture is Northallerton, managed by Transparent Express with 2 platforms, with additional services from Grand Central and LNER. It also opened in 1841 and was one of 2 stations, as there was Northallerton Town, which was used by the Leeds Northern Railways to Stockton. It was also the junction with the Wensleydale branch, which survives today as a heritage line. As for Northallerton Town, it was closed along with the line to Leeds as far as Starbeck in 1967. Today it is the junction for Transpennine and Grand Central services diverting to Middlesbrough, Redcar Central, Saltburn and Sunderland. Its head code is NTR. So, in this picture is Darlington, managed by London North Eastern Railway with 4 platforms, with additional cross-country and northern trains, Transparent Express services as well. So, apart from being part of the Stockton-Darlington Railway of 1825, with North Road Station opening, which is now Hopetown, the original first station to serve the East Coast Main Line between York and Newcastle was in 1841 as Darlington. It was renamed Darlington Bank Top in 1868, only to be replaced by the current station in 1887. In 1934 it was simply known as Darlington. It was a major junction with services to Middlesbrough, Saltburn, Sunderland and Barnard Castle, and the original Stockton line via Fighting Cocks. I promise you that is the name of a station that used to exist. As you can see, there is a 5th platform under construction. An eyesore compared to this grand LNER building with engine sheds, which is magnificent to behold. It's to ease the bottleneck for southbound services, which makes sense. The head code for Darlington is DAR.
We will call at Durham. Newcastle, Alnmouth, and Edinburgh Waverley.
So in this picture is Durham, managed by LNER with 2 platforms, with additional services from Cross Country, Northern and Trans-Pennine Express. There were 4 stations originally serving at Durham. There was Shincliffe from 1839 to 1941, serving the Durham and Sunderland Railway. Then there was Gilesgate from 1844 to 1966, serving the Leamside line. And then there was Elvet Station, which opened in 1893 to divert trains from Shincliffe town until its closure in 1953. Our current station was opened in 1857 and was a junction to Bishop Auckland, Leamside, Truesdale and Lanchester routes until they were closed by British Rail. It did have some additional platforms. However, only 2 platforms are now still in situ. Its head code is DHM. If there's one thing I find interesting about Durham, is that this is the walkway from platform 1 and 2 underneath a road bridge and the railway itself, which is quite interesting. Right, so in this picture is Chester Street, managed by Northern Trains. It has 2 platforms with additional services from Trans-Pennine Express. So the line was authorised as far as Gateshead in 1848. However, it wasn't completed until 20 years later in 1868. Chester Street was opened on December 1st that same year. It was listed for closure during the 1960s, but was saved. Its head code is CLS. Right, so someone just help me out here. Platform 1, the yellow line texturing is covering the yellow line. There's a train approaching. As I was saying, the yellow line scribble is longer on this platform than it is on this platform. Dlaczego? They keep telling us to stand behind the yellow line. See, the yellow line, that is the yellow line with the textile, not this. Who in the name of Nottingham decided this was a good idea? Because this, I hate to say this, but this is basically the length of, this is the width of Ashchurch, one of the Ashchurch platforms. This is perfectly fine. Trains do come past here at some speed, but they do at Ashchurch and Northallerton, and you don't have the scribble this so wide. Goose Lord, sort your stuff out.
Welcome to this Trans-Pennine Express service to Newcastle. The next stop will be...
Айттың ғой, бір рет болды ғой.
Вы хотите такой дом?
Отырмаймын олай. Отырмаймын олай.
Вы хотите такой дом? Видите, вон там. Где-то есть балкон. Вон там. А мы уже в Ньюкасле?
Да, адамның самооценкасын түсіре бер. Чего страшного?
Right then, our final in this picture of the vlog. Newcastle, managed by LNER, with 12 platforms, with additional cross-country, Lumo, Northern and Transpennine Express services. It opened in 1850 as Newcastle on Tyne Central by the Newcastle and Carlisle Railway. By the 1890s, the station was extended to accommodate 15 platforms, with services from London, Edinburgh, Carlisle, Hexham, Northumberland. Goose Lord, damn announcements! I'm trying to do this in one piece. I've had a long day. I've been up since 2:30 this morning because my bloody alarm clock. Leeds, York, the Midlands, Sunderland and Tyne and Ware. I swear to God, these announcements, this is just a disaster. Right, there was another Newcastle station called Newbridge Street, which closed when this station got all the traffic. And there was a new connection to Manners Station, so all the trains were diverted. British Railways reshaping saw only a few platforms being taken out of use. However, a good majority of the local routes were either closed or converted to the now Tyne and Ware Metro, which has been operating since 1980. It is the 7th busiest station in Northern England and the busiest in the north-east of England and Tyne and Ware County. Thank you for not... You can't even do an actual thing because the announcements just get in the way. Right, the head code is NCL. Right. Who in the name of Totten did this graffiti on 156487? Look at it! Disgusting! Right. It has been reported to Northern. Oh, what a treat. 480. The last time I saw 480 was 2018 at Manchester Victoria. We're going to see it off now. What a magnificent livery. On a magnificent super sprinter. The Royal Air Force. It's hard to believe it was almost 7 years ago. So there we go, people. The York to Newcastle section of the East Coast Main Line for you, Venture 68. It's been good, despite cross-country being late and holding everyone else up. Thirsk was a challenge to do because it's a difficult station to train spot. We didn't have enough time at Northallerton, but apart from that, it was good. We got loads of sprinters as well. We got a couple of 155s to add to the list. We saw 480 again. Haven't seen that sprinter in years, so it was good to see it. We saw the Pride Lumo, but thanks to cross country, they couldn't let me film it at Thirsk, so I had to. But no, all good. Thanks for watching, and you've already seen Venture 69. So let's move on to Venture 70 now. Yeah. Before I go, I'm such an idiot. I forgot to tell you. I went from Newcastle back to Darlington, first class. It was nice. £12.70 the advanced single was, and how not to load a pram onto a train. Some people. Anyway, now I'm off. Ta-da then.